Hi, everyone. This is Bella TV. My name is Jennifer, and I am sitting here with Kameron Westcott of Bravo's Real Housewives of Dallas. Welcome, Kameron. You look stunning in your pink ensemble this Fashion Week.
Thank you so much. I know it's so great to be here, especially to be here for Fashion Week, and obviously I call it also Entertainment Week because there's just so many fun entertainment parties as well. So.
Of course. So why don't we start off, obviously, talking a little bit about the show, how you got involved, kind of your experience thus far.
Yeah. Well, I never imagined that I would end up on The Real Housewives of Dallas. I was the biggest fan of all time. I would record every single episode, watch every single city, and then Carrie Duber actually threw my name into the pile when they started doing interviews again, and they called me, and I was like, oh, no way am I going to do this. But then I was like, well, I'll try out just for fun. Okay. So then I try out, and somehow it got down from 100 girls. It got down to 50. It got down to 10. And then it got down to 5. And then I was like, I better tell my husband right now that I cannot do this show, and he's not going to let me do it anyway. So we better tell him we can't do it. And my husband's like, yeah, just go ahead and interview, but we always can back out. It's not like you're signing a contract. And then somehow it just kept evolving. And now I'm here.
And it just became an entity of its own. What's it been like being on the show? I'm sure it kind of changes your whole entire life.
Right. Well, I've definitely noticed funny quirks that I do now on camera. Like I nod my head a lot, and I never notice I do those things. And you start like critiquing yourself, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But it's been really fun. It's been a really fun experience. And, there's been so many positive things about it as well.
Anything exciting coming up on the show that you can talk about? Any teasers?
Well, yeah, actually, our next episode will be going to Mexico, and you guys will get to see Carrie Brittingham, which is the new housewife. You guys will get to see her fabulous vacation home in Corrales, Mexico, and it is beautiful. It is like a resort, and we were there for a couple of days, and it was like the best girls trip ever.
Okay, so other than the show, you are also a wife, a mother. What is it like balancing work and mom life and juggling all of these things and making sure you give enough of yourself to each facet of your life?
It is extremely hard to juggle everything. I've still not mastered it. But when we're not filming, I really, really focus on getting our life organized again and, cleaning a lot of the messes up in my house that for some reason never got cleaned up. I obviously have a housekeeper, but there's things that happen that like, oh my gosh, I can't do that right now. I'm gonna have to clean it up later. But it's just about organizing my life when I'm not filming also. And I think that balances the whole family. But schedules, it's all about schedules. It keeps my life together. And I have a billion schedules and just lists. And without that, I'd be lost.
So time management, obviously, staying organized, because you have the show, you're, like I said, a wife and a mother. You're also very into fashion, which we can see, obviously, the bright colors. So tell us about your work and your experience in the fashion industry.
Yeah. Well, I've always had a love for fashion since I was really young. I've always loved that. And I actually majored in fine arts, actually, at Southern Methodist University. And I focused in photography and drawing. And originally I wanted to go to fashion school. And my parents, though, were giving me a hard time on having a 4-year college degree. And now they have 4-year college degrees in fashion, and before they didn't, and they really just want me to have, that general college degree first, and then go into fashion. So I was always planning to come to New York eventually and do fashion design. And then I got married, and then things got a little bit, but I've just always had a huge love for fashion, and of course I have a big shopping problem. So,
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in addition to all of that, as if you don't have enough on your plate, you also have a dog food brand, and a portion of the dog food brand goes back to charity. Tell us a little bit how that got started and, the ins and outs of it.
Right. Well, my amazing Yorkie, Louie, he had the hardest time loving the foods that I was offering him. He hated every dog food that I would offer him. And I was so sick of it. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to develop my own recipe. That way I know exactly what's going into my dog's food. And he deserved it because he's like the most posh pet on the planet and he needs the best. And so I went out and I developed Sparkle dog food. And that's just because I wanted him to have the best food. And I also realized that the purchasing power of women over dog food is amazing. And every time I went into a dog food store, I would see these horrible, ugly dog food bags on the shelf as well. And I knew if I could create a glamorous bag that's like fun as well and have this healthy dog food, that people would be willing to buy my brand. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to do something different in this dog food world. And so I started Sparkle Dog, just for my baby Lou.
Very nice. And then talk about the charity portion of the brand.
Yes, we are partnered with Susan G. Komen. And when I was developing my brand, my best girlfriend actually from childhood developed breast cancer. And it was an awful, awful situation. And she was such a fighter and survivor. And I wanted to give back to Susan G. Komen in honor of my girlfriend. So every bag, of course, that was sold, we, give back to Susan G. Komen.
That's great. That's such a good cause to donate back to.
And of course, they're pink lovers like myself.
Yes, they are. Of course, it all goes together. So I don't know how we could possibly fit anything else on your plate between the show, the fashion, the dog food brand. I know you're and you have a million things going on. So for everyone that wants to follow along, whether it's social media, website, anything exciting that you have coming up, let everyone know how they can follow Kameron.
Thank you. My Instagram is Kameron Westcott. And my Facebook, of course, is Kameron Westcott as well. And sparkledogfood.com is where you can go get Sparkle Dog Food. And I also actually have a few extra products as well on Amazon too. And you can buy all my products on Amazon as well. So that's probably the best place because you get Prime shipping.
Of course. Well, that's fantastic. Kameron, thank you so much for being here, for being on Bella TV, and enjoying your time in New York, I hope, until you head back.
Yes, it's been an amazing week, and I'm kind of sad to go back to Texas because it's too much fun here.
Oh, well, next time you're in New York, you'll be back here in the studio with us.
Thank you.
Of course.